Hello, Geneva, and welcome back to the Sports Shield podcast. Today is Friday, February 18th, and I'm Quinn Kennedy.
I'm Chris Suger.
So let's dive right in. Super Bowl was last week, this week, and it was Rams versus Bengals. Sadly, the Bengals could not put it all together, having a not great second half to the game like I was expecting from them.
The Rams' overall squad ended up being way too much for the Bengals. The Rams were better than them at almost every single position and ended up showing at the end of the game. Even without OBJ, the Rams were able to pass the ball down the field and on a game-winning drive at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was so close. They just need to get somebody to protect Joe Burrow this offseason. I think the Bengals are a real force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I have to agree. They could not block Aaron Donald, and because of that, Von Miller got 2 sacks. Ashawn Robinson got a sack. Aaron Donald himself got 2 sacks. Even Ernest Johnson got a sack himself, and he was wreaking havoc on their defense with a five-man rush.
I mean, Joe Burrow, it just felt like he had no time, especially that showed on the last play of the game where Jamar Chase burnt Jalen Ramsey. But the thing is, he had no time. I mean, he was already on the ground 2 seconds after the ball was out of the center's hands. So I just think it was a tough game for both sides.
Yeah, and I think there was some questionable play calling at the end of the game. Zach Taylor, um, you are 2nd and 1 for 3 straight downs, and the first one you throw an incomplete pass, and then on third down you decide to run Samaje Perine, the backup running back, versus Joe Mixon, who had been running good all game, which was very questionable, and then you decide that you're going to go scat. Play and send all 5 of your guys out on a route on fourth down and leaving Aaron Donald on a one-on-one matchup with one of your worst offensive linemen.
Yeah. So time for our way too early top five for next season. I'm going to start with number five at the Bengals. They're a very young team. I think they could probably climb up the ranks, but after what we saw in the Super Bowl, I just don't think that I can put them above the other teams I have.
Yeah, number 5, I have the 49ers. I think that they are a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl ready team. Jimmy G just isn't going to cut it. And who knows, maybe Trey Lance isn't it either. But if they can even get someone who can just game manage the right way, I think they are the prohibitive favorites to win the Super Bowl next year.
Yes. My number four team is the Rams. They're an aging team. Andrew Whitworth is probably going to retire, maybe even Aaron Donald. But I mean, they just won the Super Bowl. So I just think if they can keep a little bit of this team together, even, I think they're going to be a great team next season.
I have the Bengals at number 4. Reason being, they need offensive linemen, but with Joe Burrow at quarterback, there's really not much you can't do. He's one of the best in the league. He showed it this postseason, and now that you got that position shored up, you just need to protect him, and you'll be able to win some games.
My number three team is the 49ers. I think Trey Lance is going to open up a whole new dimension for this offense that has been all about running it down your throat and then completing short passes to just keep going. And Trey Lance is, I think he's going to do that great. I mean, you're significantly faster than Jimmy G was. I think it's going to be scary to see what this 49ers team can do next season. And I think they're a real Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have the Chiefs at number 3. The biggest thing holding them back is they do not have a lot of money. $50 million going to Patrick Mahomes, a lot of money going to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They just rebuilt their entire offensive line and paid all of them. They also paid Chris Jones, and they're going to have to pay Tyrann Mathieu. So realistically, their team isn't probably going to change that much. And they're aging. Travis Kelce is getting into his 30s. So is uh, Jones. So is Tyrann Mathieu. And it, it'll be interesting to see what they do this offseason, considering how tight they are with the cap.
So I have the Chiefs at number two right now, simply because it's Patrick Mahomes. He can do anything, and if he has another season like he did back in 2018, this team will win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's just Patrick Mahomes. He's a great player. He's one of the best to ever play.
Yeah, I have the Rams at number 2. Reason being, yeah, they are aging, but their GM has shown that he will be aggressive at any point. He traded a second round pick for Von Miller midseason, which turned out to be very good. He got 9 sacks in his last 8 games. Um, OBJ ended up being a very good fit. And at the end of the day, I think they're just going to be able to buy or trade their way for good players, and that's how they're going to win games. They have the quarterback, Matt Stafford. They have the star receiver in Cooper Kupp. They have the coach in Sean McVay, and they have Aaron Donald, who's the best defensive player, arguably of all time. So that's the keys right there.
And now we have my number one team going into next season. I think it's going to be the Bills. The Bills were so close to winning it, they kind of get screwed over by overtime rules. But I really think the Bills should have won that game, and if they did, they would have won the Super Bowl. And I think they're going to be able to keep that momentum going and anger going into next season, and that's why they are my number one team.
Yeah, I have to agree. The Bills are the most threatening team by far. They have money, and to be honest, most of their team positions are filled. They have great corners, great safeties, a great pass rush, and 2 good linebackers in Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds who can stop the run. And then on offense, they have Josh Allen, obviously, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis stepped up, Isaiah McKenzie turned out to be a pretty good receiver. Dawson Knox stepped up this year. They need to shore up a bit of that offensive line so they can run the ball and get a good running back. But that's what they can do with the money and the draft assets that they have kept throughout the years.
So that's the NFL for now. Now into the NBA. DeMar DeRozan. I mean, he has been playing like a player we've never seen before. He literally, in these past 7 games, he has scored 35 plus points in all of them, while shooting over 50%. I mean, that's just insane. That's 7 games in a row, and that's unheard of.
Yes, it's a statistic that we haven't seen since Wilt Chamberlain, and Wilt Chamberlain was a stats monster when he played the game.
He scored 100 points in 1 game.
Yeah. Any offensive statistic that you beat Wilton is an accomplishment of itself. So DeMar DeRozan has definitely shoehorned himself into the conversation for MVP.
Yeah. I really think what he's done to this Bulls team this season really does solidify him as my current MVP. So on to F1. All the cars have been revealed or leaked. Alfa Romeo still has a car left to show, but it's been leaked by seeing on a track. My personal favorite car of the bunch is McLaren. I'm a McLaren fan, and I really like how this car looks. And we're only a month away from the start of next season, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. So that's all the news we have for you today. Enjoy your weekend, Geneva. See you guys next week.